Unarmus Sportswear, sponsors of Drop the Puck.
Welcome to Drop the Puck in Game 2 of this season, where we're back at the Deeside Leisure Centre for the matchup between Deeside Dragons and Sheffield Senators.
Yeah, you know, on paper, you're going to fancy the Senators for this one. We've seen in past Drop the Puck, they're a close-knit, hard-skating team, very clinical with their passing. But saying that, though, we know the Dragons have found some form coming off the back of that win against Telford we saw last show.
Yeah, of course, the excellent performance by the Dragons last time on Game 1 of Drop the Puck. But last night the Dragons suffered an 8-0 defeat at the hands of Bradford, and you've got to wonder what kind of performance are we going to expect from them tonight, because are they going to be an animal that's licking its wound, or are they going to be the same sort of Dragons that we've been used to seeing in Drop the Puck?
I think first and foremost home ice is going to play a massive advantage, because one thing they certainly do is when teams come to the Den, they know they're up for a battle. The other thing as well is last night was littered with penalties. I think Coach Gary Shaw will be all over the Dragons with that, trying to rein in the discipline. But saying that though, you know, Sheffield, I saw them getting off the bus earlier. Not that many guys, short bench, so that could play a factor.
Of course, Sheffield, a team that have had quite a low experience on the ice so far this season. They come into tonight's game have only played 6 games so far, currently with 8 points, sitting in 6th place. But you got the Dragons who played 10 games so far, so that's a lot of ice time, and they're also on 8 points, just sitting above the Senators. A lot to play for in this one.
I certainly think there is. I think it's going to be a true test as well for the Dragons. They're actually going to, face a team that's going to give them a challenge. And I'm not saying by any means that Telford haven't or Bradford haven't or anything. I just think it's 2 fairly evenly matched teams. So we'll see a good game.
Well, of course, the Dragons currently sitting with the 2nd worst defence in the league against the team with the 2nd best defence. But of course, the Dragons have got the number 1 player in James Parsons, who's currently sitting top of the leaderboard with the most goals.
Yeah, you know, we've mentioned James before, and he's definitely going to be the one to watch in this game. When he's on the ice, he is a big playmaker, clinical finisher as well. But I think with him being a captain as well, he's using that to motivate and drive on the team. We've seen that forward line already in the Telford game of Keating and I think it was Furnival, but obviously got thrown out of the game quite quick and they replaced him. But yeah, it's a productive line. I've seen it in training, but I think it's that dark horse second line as well. They're really productive together. You've got Wigglesworth and Parry as well in there, and so it's going to be a good one to watch.
On the other side of the puck, should we say, who should be watching out for at Sheffield?
So Humphreys is their leading scorer. At the moment, I think he's roughly sitting about 16th in the table. But to be honest with you, given any opportunity, they will find the back of the net with the puck, and that's one thing that Dragons have got to be careful on. Is we saw it late in that Telford game, and we've seen it in seasons past. They're great coming forward, but they always get caught on the back foot, the Dragons.
Well, that remains to be seen. It's looking like it's going to be an interesting affair. I think it's going to be a lot closer, but who knows? It's just one of them. We'll have to wait and see. But without further ado, we're going to go and hand over to our commentary team of Ben Lee and George Perris.
Right, welcome to this, the NIHL 2 Laidler Division matchup here between the Deeside Dragons and the Sheffield Senators, visiting the Den for the first time this season. We're off to a fast start there with a battle over at the boards near to us. And Deeside recover the puck in the neutral zone with Parry, but he's been stick-checked there by the Sheffield player. And now Humphreys bringing forward, but he's bodied off the puck by Lovell, confidently at the Deeside blue line. Morgan now going back to collect for Deeside. Takes it behind his net. Outlet pass to Lovell, who decides to go back. And then plays an outlet to Furnival. Furnival taps on to Keating. Looking for Furnival again, but that was loose. And Deeside managed to chip it in deep. The puck's out in front of the Sheffield net there, but there wasn't a Deeside player to gain. And now Wayne for Sheffield is intercepting, and Wainwright's got the puck for Deeside. Bringing it out, plays out forward to Parsons. Oh, that was close.
Yeah, James Parsons' early shot there, warning signs from Deeside.
Good start here by Deeside, but now it's Wild for Sheffield, bringing it out, but his outlet pass was beyond the reach of the Sheffield number 5.
Caught on the counter, Dragons need to make sure that they're not leaking any more goals than they already have this season.
Good start for the Dragons here. Good opportunity created by Wainwright, almost finished by Parsons.
Of course, Gary and myself spoke at the beginning of the show there about James Parsons, currently the leading scorer in the Laidler Conference. He's top of the table there. He's a key attribute to the Dragons. We saw it in the last game. When he was on the ice, he made things happen.
Now this is Nixon, backhands one in on the Dragons goalie, but it's come loose, and now Wainwright kicks the puck to himself and tries to clear the zone, and he's managed to clear the zone. But this is Reiter for Sheffield Senators. Tobias Reiter playing it up to Martin. Martin bounces it out, and that will go for icing.
So both teams at the moment trying to get an early grasp on this game. It's going to be an interesting matchup. On paper, Sheffield currently the second best defence, only conceding 22 points, versus the Dragons, who are the second worst defence.
Shaw wins the draw for Deeside, gets it back to the point for Ryan Jones. Ryan Jones plays to the half boards, interchanges with Parry, but Nixon has got a stick in to break that up for Sheffield. And he ices the puck again, but there's no icing on this, and Will Banks plays it round for Wigglesworth. Wigglesworth found Parry at centre ice. This is Parry. The shot was blocked, second go. Ooh. The second go went high over the glove side but missed the net. Now Ryan Jones gets it down low. Parry bodies his man away but has lost the puck. Now Ryan Jones in the neutral zone, gets it back in, and Shaw is just onside. He's played across to Parry, back to Shaw, hit a skate in front.
That was tight, that was call then.
Solomon Smith that was that blocked the play for Sheffield. And here they come with Keim. Good shot, Keim save. And again, and he's under the pad of Armstrong.
So good start there for the Dragons, but quickly answered by Sheffield. Sheffield bringing the pressure back down. And the thing about the game tonight, George, as you know, is obviously Armstrong can't be sitting back absorbing that pressure, because the Senators will put the puck past him.
Face-off is won by Sheffield, and Smith at the point throws one in on goal, but it was a weak effort. And it's recovered by Lovell for the Dragons, and now brought up by Parson, who opts to ring the puck round, where it's collected in the opposite corner by Furnival. Furnival gets it back down low, but it's loose, only to be recovered by Keating. Good possession play here by the Dragons, but now they've lost it, and it's loose at centre, picked up by Wayne for Sheffield. And this is the play there is offside, and we're going to have a face-off in the neutral zone.
So looking down the rosters of tonight's teams, only 12 skaters travelling up from Sheffield. Class that, maybe short benched.
Yeah. Be interesting to see if Deeside can really dictate the pace and make it a fast, hard game, and perhaps reap the rewards of that in the third period, because some of the Sheffield players no doubt will be shifting every other shift, and can Deeside tire them out? This is Lovell out centre for Deeside to Furnival, and there's an offside again, and another neutral zone face-off.
Flipping the coin on the opposite side though, looking down the Dragons roster, notable missing players tonight. Chris Jones for the Dragons, quite formidable player, and Sam Krapaski, who's been making a real effort at the moment, getting his name out there again. Done really well for the assists and was putting on a lot of heavy forecheck pressure last week.
Now Sheffield coming away looking for a stretch pass, but that was well beyond the reach of Britton. But Britton managed to get the puck out front, where Kenny Williams recovers it. But now it's with Wild for Sheffield. He got one on net, but it hit something in front and was weak. And this is Dragons struggling now to clear the zone. Spridgeon tried to clear the zone, but it was a weak effort and nearly created an opportunity. Wild bodies his man for Sheffield, recovers the puck, takes it to centre and then attempts to dump, but that's cut out by Austin, who brings it back up through centre for the Dragons. But then possession changes place again. Both teams seem to be struggling to actually gain the zone with control of the puck. But that may well be something that the Dragons are happy to do, dumping the puck in. They've done it a few times so far tonight, and it seems to work well. This is Wainwright now. He's battling, but he's been dispossessed for it. And now Parry goes to the boards and battles his man, recovers the puck, plays behind to Wigglesworth. Wigglesworth looks up, pass looking for Shaw, missed everyone. Ryan Jones comes back to set the play up again, but his pass up to centre was loose. And now Humphreys and Wigglesworth battle for it. Humphreys has slung it round for Sheffield. Again, Deeside don't clear the zone. And then there's a shot on net and a loose puck, and that's a good opportunity there. Sheffield with a good chance there. Wigglesworth gets the puck into the Sheffield zone, but again, without controlling for the Dragons. And then he cuts out a nice mid-air pass at centre ice. The Dragons are back in control. Now here's Wigglesworth stepping over the blue. Shoots a weak one in, which is sticked aside by Hartley in the Sheffield net. Perks, they get it down low again. And now it's loose up at the top with Wigglesworth shot. Hartley saves, sticks it away. Sheffield coming out of their own zone now with Proctor to Wayne. Wayne through centre to Humphreys. Humphreys tried to dump it in, but that was blocked by Ryan Jones. Humphreys now backhands one, which is intercepted by Keating. And the Dragons go back and regroup.
So good pressure coming from Sheffield again in this first period. Good shot. Dragons being able to handle it comfortably at the moment, but offside call there, trips them up.
Yeah, another offside. A little bit of a scrappy opening, really. Few offsides. Both teams have had an offside that was perhaps unforced, if you like. And a few times the Dragons have struggled to clear their zone, haven't they? Which is something they're going to need to do decisively tonight to have a chance against this team.
Deeside favourite Mark Lovell.
Great pressure. Again, forecheck pressure there from Kime.
This is Keating regrouping for the Dragons. Carries it over the blue line, but he's dispossessed, and Nixon has cleared the zone for Sheffield. Level goes back behind the Dragons' net. Plays a long outlet pass to Furnival, but that missed him. And won't quite ice. Smith hands off to Wild for Sheffield, and they come up, but their pass is too far ahead of the player again. Both teams making a few errant passes. You've got a feeling that the opening goal might just come from a mistake somehow.
Yeah, normally both teams are quite clinical in the passing, especially Sheffield. We've seen in the past undrop the puck. They can be clinical with that tape to tape, and a close-knit team work really well together.
Nice play there by Josh Humphreys, his first shift. Gained the zone and then took his man behind the net and took him out of the play. Now Austin rings it round. It's come all the way up to Spridgen, but again, they lose control of the puck. And Sheffield perfectly happy to dump in so that they can get a change, which they do. Gavin Austin behind the Dragons' net. Plays across to Wainwright, but he's had to turn his back on it. And that means that Sheffield could intercept at their blue line, but that's now turned over to Spridgen. Spridgen, nice pass to Shaw. Shaw looks, shoots. Shot high.
Good effort.
Good chance, Dragons. They get the puck back behind the Sheffield net again. Oh, Austin stood his man up there well. Waited for Shaw to be onside and then passed it just slightly behind Shaw.
Puts it back across the crease there for no one.
Yeah, again the pass is loose, and that's going to be an icing call. Face-off is in the Sheffield zone, where Parsons has won it, but with a bit too much speed, and it goes all the way back, where Will Banks collects for Deeside. He plays it over to Keating in the neutral zone. Keating gets to the red and opts to beat his man rather than dump in, and then plays a backhand to Furnival. Furnival controls, Wheels round, back to Keating behind the net. Keating has been dispossessed by Kime and played up to the boards, where Britton has just tapped it past Ryan Jones and then forward to Humphreys. Humphreys and Britton. Oh, Humphreys tried to get it back to Britton.
Good play from Sheffield there, but great defensive work at the same time from the Dragons.
Now Furnival's got one, and he's coming across the Sheffield blue line, but his shot was blocked easily. And Sheffield now get it back down into the Dragons zone, where Britton is chasing down for Sheffield, but the Dragons regain possession, and here's Parsons up to Keating. Keating, lovely pass to the goal. Oh, and it's a fantastic save by Hartley. Keating, timing on the pass was perfect for Parsons, but Hartley was strong down low to make that stop. This is Kime taking a shot that is deflected at the Dragons net. Dragons now come back again. Best chance for the Dragons, I would say. And they've had a couple of good ones.
Yeah, very early on, showing pressure to Hartley, but that pressure's got to give at some point and break, and we'll see that puck cross the line. Just getting confirmation as well, the penalty on Wigglesworth was served for a late hit. So that was a 2-minute penalty to Jeff Wigglesworth for a late hit.
Now, Lovell is back behind the Dragons net on defence for Deeside. He plays it up to Bennett, and Bennett's pass has made it all the way through to Kenny Williams. Kenny Williams bodies his man, but is dispossessed of the puck in doing so, and Sheffield scoop the puck down towards the Deeside zone, where Nixon chases it down, and once again Lovell is back to recover. He rings it all the way round, where Otley collects for Sheffield and plays a D-to-D pass to his partner Smith. Smith behind the Sheffield net on defence for Sheffield, and his outlet pass hit the skirt of the net, but he's recovered it. Nice hit there by Morgan at centre ice. So now Shaw steps over, turns inside for Deeside, shoots. Good shot. Good shot, good save by Hartley.
Very good save, right in the centre of his chest pad.
Nice bit of movement there by Shaw, going across the face of the two defencemen and then shooting back in the opposite direction. Now Wigglesworth, nice hands to beat his man. Swivels back, and it's a shot from a tight angle by Shaw. This is a dangerous looking line. They've had a couple of good chances now. And Wigglesworth got it back out front there to parry, but there were too many sticks in the way. Now this is Reiter for Sheffield, but a weak effort from him, and Deeside recover the puck with Austin. Austin plays to Wainwright. Sheffield opt to change, and Dragons should be able to bring out without being under pressure. Great pass, stretch pass. Wainwright to Parsons, just onside, but unfortunately couldn't control it. But now Wainwright has recovered the puck, plays a move on his man, looks up, shoots, save Hartley.
Well, catch your breath, George. Nice bit of action there. Certainly seeing now Deeside opening up the legs, starting to stretch out the game to their stride and their pace. Sheffield looking like they're a little disgruntled at the moment, like they've been shaken. But 14:46 gone in this first period already. Only the penalty going to Wigglesworth. I've seen somebody in the box, and as it currently stands, there's going to be a very quick period of hockey which will play favour to Sheffield, especially carrying those 12 players on the bench.
Face-off is won by the Dragons, and it's back to Wainwright. Wainwright tried to get one on net, but it's blocked by Proctor, and he's now just getting the right side of Austin, but his shot was wide, and that will clear the zone. Keating now must battle at centre for the puck, and the Dragons have recovered it with Austin to Keating. Keating opts to go onto the backhand, but he's dispossessed there by Wild, who scoops it up, and Sheffield clear the zone, but again not with possession. Ryan Jones plays across to Matt Wainwright, but that pass was a little loose, and now the Dragons must regroup and come across with Furnival, but Furnival loses the puck, and now Humphreys snaps one towards the Dragons net, which is blocked, and then goes into the corner with Jones, and a loose puck for Proctor. He's missed the net a couple of times now this shift. He had a good look there. That one will go all the way down, and Armstrong is claiming icing, but the referees aren't interested. And now Morgan plays it up to Bennett, but it's come off Bennett's skates to Martin. Martin turns, shoots, it's blocked. And Deeside ring it round again, but again it's a little bit careless, and Britton has got the puck for Sheffield. Good work here by Billy Perks to battle the puck out of his man, and then Josh Humphreys. But once again, Deeside have not managed to clear their zone. Perks again, Proctor. Oh, Proctor gave it to Britton, and Britton had a great look, but he rushed it, and it missed the net. Now here comes Josh Humphreys away, but he couldn't quite control it, and he lost his edge doing so. Now Otley with speed behind the net for Sheffield. He was hit hard there by Parry, and they both took a bit of a spill, but no one's hurt. And now Parry rides his check with Otley, and it looks like Otley's going to get a penalty for that.
Yeah, looks like leading with the elbow.
Yeah. Well, Parry rode one hit brilliantly, and then dished out a little more. Yeah. So power play now for the Dragons, with just over 3 minutes remaining on the period. Two of those minutes, or hopefully less, will be Dragons power play.
Yes, obviously, hopefully we get a goal to open the account in the game. But we know from previous encounters that this special team of the Dragons has been quite formidable this season. Early shot there in the advantage.
Well, this has been a good line, this line so far in this game. Wigglesworth, Parry and Shaw. They've made good opportunities for the Dragons, and that was a fantastic opportunity. Now Austin shoots, it's behind the net now with Parry. Dragons well set up, they look confident, they look in control. That was just a little bit loose there away from Parry, and Smith has recovered it for Sheffield and nearly fired it into his own bench.
Well, that's just hockey 101 on a penalty kill there. Get the puck and dump it.
Yeah.
That was a great play there from Sheffield.
Now Wainwright skips past his man on the backhand, gains the zone, and goes again driving on the backhand and out in front, where Furnival couldn't quite get the look that he needed. And Sheffield backhand it out to neutral ice, where Gavin Austin will go back and collect. We've had 1 minute of power play, and Deeside changing, and now Parsons comes to the ice. So now we've got Parsons, Keating and Furnival out for Deeside, but they can't gain the zone. Now Lovell starts out behind the Deeside net, plays to Furnival. Parsons.
Backdoor attempt there.
Yeah, not far off for Chris Keating. But now it's loose at neutral ice, and Furnival collects, takes a big slap shot, which was deflected by Aaron Bell, and Furnival, the ref just rode a body check from Cy Furnival there, so well done, ref. Oh, good shot, Lovell. It was high. Hartley dropped it and then sticked it into the corner.
10 seconds remain in the penalty.
Lovell's recovered it. Plays across to Keating. Keating out in front, and it missed everyone's stick. It would have been a great opportunity for Parsons.
There goes the advantage for the Dragons.
Otley's back on the ice
so that's
for Sheffield. And with just a minute remaining in the period, it looks increasingly likely there's going to be a stalemate. But not if Reiter can do something here for Sheffield, but he's missed the net. Sheffield have missed the net a fair few times in this period, I would say.
Yeah, they've had some good attempts, but Armstrong's just watched the puck sail past the iron, to be fair.
Now, Wigglesworth, can we do something late in this period? Chips it forward where Parry chases down Solomon Smith for Sheffield. Smith rings it right the way around, but that's cut out by Shaw. And Parry gets it in deep into the Sheffield zone, where Shaw goes, hits his man, and there's the pass to centre for Parry. Parry is determined not to be hit today, and Smith blocked that centering attempt, and it dangerously, the puck was dangerously loose, but Deeside could not capitalise. Now Shaw comes across, we've got less than 10 seconds to play. It's Wigglesworth, backhands it inside, it hits a skate, and Austin turns, backhands a weak one.
There's
in,
the buzzer.
It's a 0-0 period here.
So great start from both teams in the defensive front. Both tendies seeing a little bit of rubber, to say fair, and keeping those sheets clean. So as both teams go to head into the locker room now, we'll take a quick word from our sponsors, Dynamo Sport, and join us right after this break, period 2.
Dunarmus Sportswear. Sponsors of Drop the Puck.
Welcome back after that lovely little commercial break there. Dunarmus Sports sponsoring Drop the Puck this season. And as you can see, we're ready to get underway for this period 2. George, it's going to be a tasty one, as you've just said.
It is. It's close, isn't it? I think that we both felt, didn't we, when we were discussing between the periods, that the Dragons had the best of the first period, and we feel that they're our favourites to score first. And they've just had the first chance with Shaw, a narrow shot, and now he's got it up to the centre for parry, but that got stuck in the ice, which is slightly wet, and the puck is a little bit sticky. Sheffield backhand it down behind the Dragons' goal, where Lovell collects, steps out, turns back, looks again, finds Shaw. Shaw at centre, forward pass to Keating. Keating again, the puck got stuck.
And the Dragons fans in full voice, as you can hear.
Now Sheffield come away with Britton to Humphreys, but Humphreys couldn't use it, and then Otley nearly found his man at the back post. Nice move there by the Sheffield player, but eventually dispossessed. And now here comes Cy Furnival. He split the two defensemen. Can he get a shot away? He did. Good save, Hartley, in the Sheffield net. Great chance, Simon Furnival.
Puck looks like it's, sorry, I was going to say the puck looks like it's moving a bit more freely now on the ice.
Yeah, it'll dry eventually. That was a shot from Humphreys that went wide on the glove side of Armstrong's goal. And now Nixon out in front. Oh, sorry.
Great save.
Wow, it's Wayne actually, not Nixon. And he had loads of time, and a fantastic save by Armstrong. Keeps it 0-0.
So, with play very quickly underway, resuming the tempo and pace of the first period.
Face off in the Dragons zone, and Sheffield come away with it, but then the puck takes a bounce and Parsons collects for the Dragons. Austin plays up to centre, where Furnival knocks it back for Wainwright. Wainwright goes across the face of goal with Parsons. Parsons in on tight angle, saved by Hartley with his blocker down on the short side. And then Keating had a great chance, another good save by Hartley. Hartley's playing very well, and he's the reason that Sheffield are not losing this game by a few goals, I would say.
Certainly, he's seen a lot of rubber early on this second period already. But you've got to mention, though, that line of the Dragons currently at the moment with Parsons and Keating, it's working wonders for them.
Keating backhands to Furnival, and that one just skipped wide. Austin coming back to collect for the Dragons. Plays a stretch pass that was too far ahead of Parsons, and the Dragons change. Now Williams, Bennett and Spridgen. Bennett forechecks, but the puck is loose and out to centre, where Humphreys has stick-checked Ryan Jones and played to Nixon. Nixon tried to backhand it, centering backhand feed, but that got stuck in the ice as well.
See, nobody likes a sticky puck, George.
No.
Although I'm pretty sure you can get some creams for that sort of.
Here we go, Proctor tried to play a move on Ryan Jones, but Ryan Jones dispossessed him. And then that pass missed everyone, so it's going to be icing, it's going to come back.
So, we're seeing straight away the productivity and depth that Deeside are rolling with tonight. 3 quite comfortable lines. That third line of Bennett and Williams and Jones getting some ice time there now. You're fancying that second line with Wigglesworth on it to be the most productive, though.
Yeah, I thought they had some fantastic chances in that first period. And, I mean, it looks like both line 1 and 2 could score today for Dragons, I'd say.
And that's a place they're going to be happy to be in, especially after the end of the last season, the turmoil that was Deeside, as the division, or the Dragons 1 team came down and the Dragons 2 team held their own.
Ryan Jones has just lifted one down into the Sheffield zone, where Spridgen is forechecking, but Sheffield have got it loose, and now it's Humphreys coming away with it. And a fast shot by Humphreys went over the net. Armstrong ducked it, and now Spridgen is coming over the Sheffield blue line, but Smith has recovered the puck. Now it's with Parry, parry, rings it round. Ryan Jones pinches, beats his man, and Wigglesworth recovers the puck, knocks it down to the centre, but Shaw was knocked off his feet by Smith. And so it comes all the way around to Banks for Deeside. And then cross-ice pass where Shaw can shoot, and Hartley's made another save there. Humphreys flips out to centre where Will Banks blocks that. And the Dragons get it up now with Shaw. Shaw, good pace. Tried to go around his man. A lovely diving save there from Wild for Sheffield. Avoiding what would have been a fantastic opportunity for Wigglesworth. Now Ryan Jones has found Wigglesworth up at centre, and he just opts to tap it forward. So yeah, this second Dragons line looked very much like they just want to get the puck deep and put pressure on the puck behind the Sheffield net. The first Dragons line, I would say, there with Keating, Parsons and Furnival, they've been sort of driving wide and making good centering passes. So both lines generating decent chances, but in slightly different ways, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. You can see that now the forward lines are actually putting more pressure on, giving those defensive men a lot of time to recover for when they are facing the onslaught of Sheffield. But at the end of the day, on paper, I was going to say, it comes down to the fact the Dragons have already played 10 games this season so far. Good effort from the Dragons there. Only 6 skated by Sheffield. Do you think the amount of ice time already, George, is playing a factor?
Well, I've got to say, with respect to Sheffield, they don't look too lively. So I don't know. Have they lost their energy, or have they just not found it yet? I'm not sure.
I don't know. It's hard to say, George. It's a case of maybe it's slow starting, you know, the building up. But we know that Sheffield are a great product of the hockey family. Obviously, it starts at the rec level, then to the Senators, then obviously you've got the Steel Dogs leading right the way through to the Elite League there. Yeah,
certainly a great setup. And they've got the puck at centre now with Wayne, who's crossed the Dragons' blue line. Laid it off to Nixon, who shot, but that was wide of the net. And Lovell then wisely, there was a good shot from the blue line that was nearly deflected towards the Dragons' net. Morgan tries to bring it out, but his shot takes an awkward deflection, and he's just dumped to the ice by Proctor. Now, lovely inside play by Sheffield, nearly creating a great opportunity. And then Lovell has to block another centering attempt from the Senators. Now Lovell brings it out with speed, cuts back inside. Oh, lovely moves by Lovell to create a decent shot opportunity. And now Keating at a close angle, he scores!
He's got it! Wow!
Lovell did the work to gain the zone, took a shot, the rebound was in the corner. Keating went down to recover, and coming in from a tight angle, I think he beat Hartley on the short side. Hartley did not look happy with himself, and I'd say after the saves he's made, it's a disappointing way to let in the first goal.
Certainly, obviously the experience and the skill of Mark Lovell there, driving that puck right deep into the centre zone. And then Keating to butter up that biscuit right past Hartley and slip it in.
Yeah, what a fantastic season he's having. And he's opened the scoring here for the Dragons, who deserve the lead. They really do.
Unassisted goal by number 88, Christopher Keating.
Well, that sticky ice has caused a couple of defensive problems here, and it nearly caused another one there. And now Britain's got it for Sheffield, looking to equalise immediately. And Humphreys,
great save.
And I'm not sure what happened there, but was that Armstrong saving it, or was that blocked? I don't know, but it was a good chance for Sheffield. Now Williams clears the zone for Dragons, who've got their third line out here with Josh Humphreys, Bennett and Williams. And Bennett is battling in the corner in the Sheffield zone, and now Austin recovers the puck up at the blue line and tries to sling one on goal, but that's blocked by Sheffield. They come away now with their import, Reiter. Reiter snaps one, a good low snap shot, good save Armstrong. And Sheffield looking a bit more lively now that they've gone down a goal.
Well, maybe it's the punch to wake them up, should we say. Certainly now seem to put the skates down a bit more and get some ice between themselves and the Dragons players. But it's one of those, George, I think the Dragons are going to have to keep the pressure on now, keep those lines chipping away, maybe start putting the body on and hating up the Senators a little bit more now, so they're not going to want to drive into the Dragon zone.
Wigglesworth has found Shaw. Oh, good save, Hartley. Great opportunity there. Wigglesworth centering pass to Shaw, and he had time, but Hartley saved down low. Sheffield chip one out to centre now, where we're going to get a foot race between Wayne, but Ryan Jones is going to win that one easily for Deeside. But then he's got in a muddle with the puck, and Wayne has recovered it for Sheffield, but it's okay because Matt Wainwright's here to play the pass up to Wigglesworth. But the Dragons finally managed to clear the zone, and Wainwright brings it across centre ice. Nice moves.
Good defensive work there to put it in the corner.
Oh, now there's a turnover. This is the danger with the pinching defenseman. And Dragons nearly got caught with the odd man rush there, but unfortunately Sheffield couldn't quite get it together. And Parry looks to centre for one of his line mates. Gets it up to the point for Ryan Jones. But Ryan Jones shoots one in on Hartley, who deflects into the corner. Now Otley bringing out for Sheffield. Gets intercepted at the point and sent back in again by Deeside. Centering pass that time was cut out by another Sheffield player. Now Shaw's got space, goes onto the backhand shot saved by Hartley. Shaw's behind the net, out to Wigglesworth. Oh, another good save, Hartley. Well, he's playing well, and he needs to, because Deeside are generating a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, that second line out again, you've already said it, George. They're moving that puck around with ease. Okay, there's a couple of mistakes by both teams, and I think that's where the Dragons are mainly capitalising, forcing the mistakes deep in the centre zone, jumping on those loose pucks and trying to convert them.
Here's Perks up at the blue line for Deeside. His shot was wide, and it's recovered by Parsons, who walks the blue line and plays again to Perks, who takes a sharp angle shot, which is wide and recovered by Jones. And now Jones's cross zone pass is intercepted by Wayne, and that's up to Humphreys now. Humphreys got Britton in the centre if he can find him, but no, because Ryan Jones is right on top of him. And Ryan Jones then plays it back behind the net to Keating, who steps off the half boards, comes through neutral ice, gets to the red line, plays a soft pass to Furnival, who hits Parsons. Keating's going to the net, Parsons going round the top, and he's hit the post.
Well, I actually think that was Keating's stick as he tried to get the deflection.
Nice movement here by this Dragons first line. Jones tries to get it back in, but Keating and Martin battle for the puck, and then Parsons has lost it to Wayne. Wayne cuts inside on the blue line, and he's been... Nope, there's the tripping call here for Cy Furnival. The Sheffield player cut inside, and Cy Furnival wanted to get something on him, and he did get something on him, but he got a bit too much on him.
So Furnival goes to the box for the Dragons, and besides that small stint of 2 minutes in the first period, this will be the second time tonight that the Senators power play unit will get to operate.
And this time we've noticed, so shot from the point by Wild, floats over and then chopped on the backhand towards the net by Proctor, but Dragons managed to clear.
So you can see now the Senators just struggling to try and get something set up. They're not quite positioned. Oh, good attempt though as he takes it up and over the plexi. But I was saying, George, you can see very quickly that the Dragons special teams unit, especially when they're on the power play, set themselves up quite quick and start that cycle very quickly, getting the rotation going. Senators a little bit sluggish there.
Well, how long have we had? Yeah, they've got 24 seconds gone. They've allowed Deeside to clear the zone. They did have a clear shot there with a one-timer, but it went up and over the net. So let's see what they can do now with Proctor. Proctor turns on himself, tries to find the point, but that was cut out by Parry, and the puck is loose again. And now Lovell will bring it clear and will surely get the puck clear for Deeside. But instead of icing it, he opts to skate it in and eat up a few more valuable seconds. Nice play by Mark Lovell there. Sheffield behind the net, and now the young lad Shaw applies pressure, rides his man into the boards. Lovely play here. I mean, Dragons defending this short-handed in the Sheffield zone. It's
exactly what Coach Gary Shaw will want to see from them. Drive the Senators right back so they can't do anything and keep the pressure on. when we're halfway through that penalty.
It's loose again and collected by Parsons. And Parsons is going to skate with it now, short-handed. And he dropped it off to Morgan, but unfortunately Morgan couldn't quite control, and Sheffield have opted to dump it in where Britton goes down to collect. He's got just under 30 seconds left on this power play, which hasn't yielded a shot on net yet. Sheffield go back, regroup with Wild. Wild plays it up to Humphreys. Humphreys rings it round. On the far side it's collected by Nixon for Sheffield, but he's left it behind. Parsons has got it, and Parsons will now try and ice it, but he didn't get much on it, and now Parry flips it in.
You can hear Hartley banging his stick on the ice there, indicating the end of the penalty.
Yeah, that was a good penalty kill there by the Dragons. Sheffield did not, apart from for the first 20 seconds, Sheffield were unable to get anything set up there. Now even strength. Parsons has got the puck. No, he hasn't. He's lost the puck behind the Sheffield net. Now Keating recovers it, and the Dragons take control again. Keating up to Morgan at the point. Morgan, cross-ice play to Parsons. Parsons, nice hands, shoots, save Hartley. Second effort was blocked. It comes round now to Wainwright, who's got it in his feet. And now it's loose to Reiter. Reiter rides the check from Furnival. And Britton has backhanded it to centre with Nixon. It's a 2-on-0. Reiter, oh, he went high and missed the net.
Well, that just proves there that the Dragons have got a chink in their armour. They can be caught on the counter.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Sheffield are going to have to do.
Sheffield will be... Oh, Deeside are offside as they change. Yeah, what a chance that was. 2-0 to the import, who, let's be honest, you probably would have, bet on scoring that, wouldn't you?
Well, certainly, but I think it's really starting to step up now. We're seeing the teams, both teams, starting to move through the gears slowly but surely, getting a bit more productive when they're on the puck.
Dragons' third liner out, and this is Humphreys, who's had a few impressive shifts in this game, and he's pushing the play now down into the Sheffield zone. And Bennett looking energetic as the puck is right the way around to Wainwright. Back to Bennett. Bennett centering where it's almost fell for Humphreys, but not quite. And now Sheffield ice the puck, but there's no whistle. There's not much pace on that. Wainwright drops it back to Austin. Austin goes behind the net. Austin brings it up through the centre of the zone, plays it to Spridgen, but that's loose. Wainwright to Bennett, but it skipped over his stick. Sheffield regroup with Wild. Now, here we go, Sheffield. It's Wayne and Humphreys. Humphreys is being checked there by his namesake. And well done, Josh Humphreys. Up at the point with Martin for Sheffield. Bennett tries to throw a hit. And Sheffield regrouped too quickly. Oh, they're offside. Dragons were looking for a change and they couldn't quite get one. But they can change now.
Noticing something very quickly there, just as the hit and Bennett and Martin there. Is it me, or is Sheffield trying to shy out of playing a physical game here?
Yeah, well, it hasn't been physical compared to the Telford game, which had a real edge to it. It hasn't been physical at all, and Deeside haven't needed to be physical really, because they look like they could dominate this game without the need to throw the body around. There have been a few hits, but yeah, let's be honest, we'd like to see a bit more edge, a bit more nastiness.
I think the fact that,
lovely play by Shaw to recover the puck and
Oh!
score! What a play by Shaw!
James Shaw for the Dragons.
Well,
sent the Den here into absolute overdrive.
yeah, the puck was behind him. He sort of had to contort himself backwards to draw the puck back from behind him through his own feet, and then once he did that, he was clear and made absolutely no mistake. Skillful play there by Shaw, and it's 2-0 to the Dragons.
Scored by James Shaw, assisted by 52 Jeff Wigglesworth.
And that second line, again, being productive there.
Yeah, a goal for each of the two lines now, but Shaw's couldn't control the puck on that occasion, and it's loose. 2-0 Deeside, well deserved. Humphreys has been Sheffield's best player by far, I would say, but that's a very errant pass.
Ooh.
Went to sleep for a second there, and Britton had a chance to find one of his line mates at the back door, but that didn't work out for Sheffield, and now Deeside look to bring it out, but it's back down into the Deeside zone, where Ryan Jones plays to Will Banks, and Will Banks plays it up to Shaw, but that play fell apart. Parry rides a hit again, this time from Otley, and the Dragons managed to get it back down into the Sheffield zone. Otley now brings it up for Sheffield, looking to get something started for this team, who find themselves 2-0 down. Otley takes a shot from distance, but that's no problem for Armstrong. And then Will Banks has found Wigglesworth. Wigglesworth plays to Furnival. As Wigglesworth finishes off the line change, and Keating comes to the ice. And well, Sheffield had a chance there, but it's gone for an icing.
So just under 4 minutes remains in this second period, and the Dragons certainly swinging the game into their favour, putting a little bit of a tilt on the ice. And George, we've covered many a game here for Drop the Puck at the Den. Would you say that when teams come here, the Dragons always give them a battle?
Well, this season, from what I've seen, yes, certainly. I mean, obviously, the situation was a little bit different last season. And, oh, lovely move by Lovell. Lovell had a chance to pass to Keating there as he skated in beautifully. And now Morgan's played it back into the corner for Keating and Furnival. And this line looked very much in control. You would have thought it was a power play, actually, because Sheffield just aren't getting close to the puck. Now, Lovell at the point, down to Furnival. Yeah, I was going to say, last season, we obviously saw this Sheffield team demolish the Dragons 2 side. And no, it wasn't a battle, was it? But, I mean, how different things are today. Now that the squad is unified again, there's a close angle shot by Britton, was held by Armstrong against the skirt of the net. Yeah, they look like they've got a bit more, they're going to basically give any team in this league a fight at this rink. Might be a bit different away from home, as we saw last night with the 8-0 loss. So,
and speaking of fighting there, is it going to be time now for the Senators to step up the physicality of this game and try and get something out of this second period? Dragons
are in control with Furnival, whose shot is blocked. Now, can Sheffield hit on the break? That's where their threat comes from. But Britton is shut down by Morgan in the neutral zone. And as they regroup, that loose pass up to centre is recovered again by Morgan. Morgan turns, he's got two men on him for a moment. And now he comes up through the middle and drives wide on the defenceman, and then gets it in deep to Bennett. Wouldn't it be great to see a goal for this third line, so that the Dragons can get all three lines on the score sheet?
Definitely.
Bennett plays to Morgan. Morgan back to Bennett. Spridgen is working hard in front of the net, but that play is broken down, and now here comes Reiter up for Sheffield. But great back check there by Owen Bennett, but perhaps a little too great, because there's a bit of a chop, and he's going to go and sit for 2 minutes.
So Owen Bennett draws himself all the way to the box there. He's going for 2 minutes, but that last passage of play there, Spridgen really fighting hard in front of that net to create some space. The Dragons quite comfortably in the driving seat of this game now.
Yeah, all three lines are playing well, I'd say. That third line have looked good. We've got, there's Spridgen and Josh Humphreys out on the ice quite a bit. Bennett looks energetic, but penalty now, so let's see the third power play for the Senators. Can they get more out of it than they did from the last two? They've got it up to the point with Otley, and then back down to Wild. Wild is circling, and then went cross ice, but there's no one anywhere near that, and Parry now brings it up for the Dragons and opts to clear the zone. This is Wild for Sheffield in his own zone. Outlet passes for Nixon. Nixon steps inside. Skates across the face of the defence. Finds Humphreys. Humphreys shot. Glove save Armstrong.
Well, this is it now. This could be the opportunity. We're inside the final minute. There's a minute 20 remaining on the penalty, which means that the Senators will start the third period on the advantage if they can't score before the buzzer goes.
Austin tries to clear the zone, but it hit a stick, and there's a chance. Oh, it's a soft one, I'm afraid. Wild has scored for Sheffield. Looks like Jonah Armstrong did not have sight of that puck. It was thrown on the net from the point, and it found its way through, which halves the Dragons' lead.
Well, we said it. The penalty nullified very quickly. Curse of the commentator, some might say. But that's it now. It's only a one-goal game. Do not count the Senators out. We've still got 20 minutes of hockey to play.
Parsons at the restart has managed to get possession of the puck for Deeside. So it's now loose at the Deeside blue line and tapped in by the Sheffield behind the Deeside net, where Lovell brings it up. Lovell circles his own net, looking for a clean pass, and that's cut out by Humphreys. And it could be, Humphreys.
That was a good save from Armstrong.
Yeah, I think Armstrong just got the tip of his glove on that. Well, that was very nearly, the Dragons have very nearly seen their lead evaporate in the course of a few seconds there. So, yeah, it's definitely time to switch on as this second line of Wigglesworth, Parry and Shaw come out.
Not too sure there, George, but I think the goal's been accredited to Otley. I'm just going to confirm now.
Yeah, so it looks like possible last-minute change of direction on that puck may have been what unsighted Armstrong. He hasn't had tons to do, Armstrong, but what he's had to do, he's done well. Made a couple of smart saves. The Dragons
sorry, George.
Yeah.
The Dragons, as it currently stands, have been in a situation similar to this before, and at the end of the day, one thing they've got to be careful of now is complacency. They've had a good period of hockey. They don't want to fall into the rut of thinking the game's over and won.
Yeah, the discipline will be key, obviously, now that they've surrendered a goal to a power play, and to be honest, they look unlikely to lose this game 5-on-5.
Well, that's only something we'll be able to find out into the third period. We're going to head into there now after a quick word from our sponsors, Dunama Sport.
Dunarmus Sportswear, sponsors of Drop the Puck.
Welcome back. Period 3 of this 2-1 game. Dragons still with that 2-1 lead, but early signs at the end of that second from Sheffield showing they're not down and out. 20 minutes to make it count.
Yeah, let's look forward to an exciting finish to this game, and good news is the puck is moving well on the ice, which it wasn't at the beginning of the second, was it?
No, bit of sticky puck syndrome.
Now, Sheffield are moving it around nicely, and they nearly got it up to Humphreys on this near wing, but it was just ahead of him, and Lovell has gone back to collect for the Dragons. Lovell's outlet pass has been cut off by Britton. Britton tries to backhand to centre, but Shaw blocks that. And now Lovell plays to Morgan, his D partner, and Morgan up to Parry. Parry, nice little move to drift inside and find Shaw, and then Wild tried to clear but hit his own man, and eventually Sheffield do get the puck down, but that's going to ice the puck. And the first, or rather I should say second face-off of this period will be in the Sheffield zone.
So both teams out the blocks quite quick for this one. Going to be exciting, I think, George.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to believe that the Dragons can win this game, because really the scoreline 2-1, I think it flatters Sheffield a little. Now Wainwright has swung the puck all the way around where Keating will collect. And Keating, looking for a pass out in front, but that just evaded him. And now Sheffield, Furnival beat his man in the corner and found Parsons. Parsons walks into the corner, and a loose puck is collected by Otley and brought up to the blue line, past Wainwright, where Parsons has to poke the puck forward out of the reach of Humphreys. Now Humphreys has got it again, and Parsons again has broken that up. Now Otley coming through centre with a bit of speed, onto his backhand, they're onside, takes a shot, blocker save Armstrong, nice save. And it's round to Parsons at the far boards, and then to Keating, who can move up through centre. Otley losing his balance slightly, and Furnival tried to put a move on him, but he stick-checked that away. And now Keating collects, and Keating went for a wraparound that was saved by Hartley. Now Austin from distance, gloved by Humphreys and frozen for another face-off in the Sheffield zone.
So again, Dragons straight out, trying to put pressure on Hartley early on. Senators doing well to move that puck around. Again, still only 2 minutes of this third final period gone.
Dragons' third line out here with Spridgens, William and Bennett. And it's turned over to Nixon for Sheffield, who brings up the centre where he's dispossessed by Will Banks. And now Kenny Williams coming through centre, shoots low shot, which is sticked away by Hartley, and then centres for Spridgen, who looks lively and goes back behind the net, turns. He's pinned by Bell.
Great board play.
And now Bennett walking up the half boards, then backhanding it back deep for Williams, but that's gone up and over the netting.
Well, it was a good drive off the tee there to clear that.
Yes, yeah. Now this will be the third consecutive face-off in the Sheffield zone, which is good news for the Dragons. They seem to be pressing a territorial advantage in this period. Can they convert on the chances though?
Well, they're putting enough pressure on, something's got to break.
Parry gets the puck deep, but it's loose, and now Ryder has got it for Sheffield, and he found up to Nixon, who knocked a flippy-floppy one, I think is the technical term for that, in on Armstrong. Here comes Shaw, he's away from his man, he's driving wide, and he just needed to pull it inside for Wigglesworth, but it was too far ahead of Wigglesworth. Now Parry has been dispossessed by Proctor, but Morgan recovers, and eventually Sheffield do get the puck away, and now it's Proctor coming in. That's a good shot. A couple of efforts there from Sheffield. Reiter now is in the corner for Sheffield with the puck in the Dragons zone. He's stick checked by Lovell, disrupts things, but now Proctor and Morgan just casually shrugs Proctor away from the puck and brings it out to neutral, where the linesman intercepted that play for the Dragons. Lovell banks one off the boards for Morgan, who banks one off the boards for Furnival. The puck is still in the Sheffield zone as Morgan and Nixon battle for it, but Nixon brings it away and comes up through centre with speed, drives wide on Keating, and then flips one in over the top of Armstrong's net. At Furnival, nice backhand pass to Parsons. Parsons through the middle with speed. He's got Keating on this side. Instead he drives wide, and now Furnival is coming through. Yeah, Parsons couldn't quite find Furnival there, but he's still got speed, and now he's found Wainwright. Low shot by Wainwright. Dealt with easily by Hartley. And then Furnival back to Wainwright. And this line looking particularly composed as they were in the second period. As Parsons battles behind the Sheffield net, and then Wainwright pinches in and backhands one out to Parsons, who steps towards the front of the net, but his path was blocked, and Sheffield managed to get the puck loosely down the ice.
4 minutes 40 gone in this third period currently. Dragons again looking like they're very much in control, but it's that sloppy mistakes like that that Senators are going to jump on.
Well, Humphreys lost his edge there, and he almost recovered it to take a shot on his knees, which is always a spectacular play, but not quite. Now Furnival driving wide for Dragons. His shot is wide of the net and will clear the zone, and Austin goes back to collect for Deeside.
George, do you think that the short bench of Sheffield is starting to feel it now?
Well, as we said last period, that they haven't looked that energetic full stop, so Don't know. Oh, good shot there. Great save, Armstrong, on a point-blank shot. Yeah, they haven't looked like they've had much energy right from the get-go, so it's hard to tell, really. But one thing that I would say, the Dragons have rolled 3 lines. You know, I don't know whether they're rewarding the guys who travelled to Bradford yesterday, but I mean, a lot of the guys out there getting ice time, Will Banks, Spridgeon, Josh Humphreys, guys who don't always get a lot of ice time. So, you know, it's brilliant to see the Dragons, you know, using the depth to their advantage, and yet no doubt that has an impact.
Very much so.
Now Otley's come back for Sheffield, and his pass is loose and parry shot, but then Otley blocked that. Now Proctor bringing one forward, and Wayne has got that, but he deked himself there as he tried to get past Jones. Now Parry holding the puck up in the corner for Deeside. 2 Sheffield players look to get it loose, and eventually it's Wigglesworth who comes away with it. Gets his legs moving, gets his head up, and we've got players going to the net here, with Ryan Jones included. Jones shoots through traffic, that was blocked by Hartley. And Wayne is spinning to evade Shaw, and Wayne eventually comes away with it, but his clearing effort is very weak. And a great shot by Furnival was blocked away by Hartley on a rolling puck there that no one really expected to pop up to Furnival. And they've kept it in again here, and Ryan Jones has got it. He's played it to Furnival, and Furnival just wasn't quite alert to that pass. Furnival plays it round where it was a little bit too far-fetched for Shaw to collect, and now this line come back again with Parsons. Parsons shooting from an angle, save Hartley. Lovell snaps one wide of the net. Keating on the far half boards, plays behind to Parsons. Parsons to Furnival. This line have looked fully in control for all of their shifts, it has to be said. Lovell snaps one out front to Keating, who was looking to redirect, but it went instead through his legs. Now Morgan is dumped to the ice, and now Sheffield could come away here.
Odd man
as
rush.
Morgan tries to recover. Britton goes inside on Lovell, and he scores.
And there it goes. The lead that the Dragons had has been completely nullified, and we're back to an even keel game.
Well, it's a tough blow that for the Dragons, because they were looking very much in control on that shift. Morgan, the defenseman, trying to keep the puck in, lost his edge, and the result was an odd man rush for Sheffield.
Now, we did say the chink in the Dragons' armour was the counter-attack. Straight away what Sheffield picked them back up with. Odd man rush 3-on-1. Lovell was forced to try and cover 2 other men.
Well, Hartley just made a risky play, considering that his team had just managed to get back on level terms, which nearly came loose to Humphreys. And then Hartley sticks one in to the front of the net. And Sheffield come away again now, being chased down by Bennett, who throws a nice hit on Humphreys. Sheffield get it up to the point for a while, but they can't keep it in. He's under pressure from Williams, and plays a D-to-D pass to Bell, whose outlet pass was ahead of his man, and Gavin Austin comes back to collect for the Dragons. A long pass up to Shaw, who very nearly controlled that, but it's loose. And now Keim, young Keim, who we've not seen, steps inside quickly and took a shot that was blocked by Austin. Austin's limping here. Now Wainwright driving on the backhand, drives around a couple of Sheffield players, gone all the way to the top of the zone, where he leaves it for Parry, and now Parry's got it in deep with Shaw and Wigglesworth out in front. Opts to find Jones, there's traffic, Jones can get it on net. He's kicked away that one by Wild for Sheffield, and the Dragons regroup. Ryan Jones this time clips a soft puck down behind the Sheffield net, where Otley whips it round to Proctor at the point. Proctor tried to make a move inside, but it's turned over, and that was Shaw. And Shaw shot high blocker side but wide, and then Shaw hits his man, but Sheffield come away with it eventually. No, again they failed to clear the zone, and Parry, good low shot, once again traffic on the net. Dragons pushing hard here to regain the lead that they held for so much of this game. Loose again Sheffield struggling to clear, but they will get it out this time. And now it's Humphreys at the blue line, dumps it in where it's sticked away by Armstrong. Up to Otley at the point. Otley plays a low shot and a rebound there for Reiter. And now Humphreys has got an opportunity. Triple save here by Armstrong. And again, Armstrong has to be careful.
And they've got round the wrap around.
Wrapped it around. Well, how many chances? It was Humphreys eventually with the wraparound after Armstrong had made several good saves. And for the first time in the game, we see Sheffield in the lead.
Well, the Dragons on paper going into this with the second worst defence. Their game plan had been, as we see a timeout called from the Dragons, the game plan had basically been outscore the opposing team. Yep. They were leaking goals at the back. Whether it's complacency or whether they've woken a sleeping giant in the form of Sheffield, Sheffield have immediately come straight back in this game.
Well, some fierce words over at the Dragons timeout. Mark Lovell looks fired up. I just wonder if the Dragons would change their rotation slightly and look to get the first and second lines out. But the third line is ready by the gate, so we'll see.
It's certainly been an exciting game. This third period has held most of the action already with 9 minutes 55 gone.
Now Parsons wins the face-off, and Morgan tried to play it past Britton, and then Morgan chases his man down, and Keating has got it back into the corner, where he then is able to block off the clearing attempt, and it's up to Lovell. Lovell goes onto the backhand, then turns and plays it in deep to Parsons. Parsons stepping behind the Sheffield goal, over to Keating. Keating back to Parsons. Parsons hit by Smith, knocked off the puck. Lovell up at the point, gets it back down deep, where Parsons, again with Smith, turns. And Smith eventually comes away with the puck for Sheffield and brings it round for Britton. Now there's could have been an odd man rush here. Yes, and they've got it to Kime. Sheffield with a chance.
Great defensive work by the Dragons.
Yeah, Keating came back and broke that play up. And the Dragons have now got it back down behind the Sheffield net, but Sheffield have iced the puck, have they? No, icing is waved off. Wainwright comes back. And a bit of space here for Dragons as Wainwright steps wide on Wild and shoots high, but too high. Wainwright again onto his backhand, centering for Spridgen, but couldn't get through. And Wild clips the puck up to centre for Sheffield, where Austin intercepts and plays it back in. Bennett steps past his man and gets the puck back down behind the Sheffield net.
The tempo of this game really stepping up now into these final 10 minutes.
You can feel a sense of urgency that we've not had before here. I feel like the Dragons felt confident in this game up to this point, perhaps. Now Wild steps out for Sheffield. Plays an outlet pass to Nixon, but Williams is there to redirect play back to put Sheffield on the back foot. They play up to Kime, who's hit hard by Spridgen, and the shot! Oh, Bennett's nearly scored, and instead he's hit the goalie. A bit of a reaction from Hartley.
And Bennett's going with the
goalie.
Bennett Hartley!
Bennett pulls him down. Well, Hartley only got himself to blame there. He got his hands up in Bennett's face, and you don't do that to Owen Bennett.
So, Bennett was already on the penalty sheets last night at the Bulldogs where he'd had a fight.
Well,
so he's going to add some more time in the box to his season total.
Now it'll be interesting to see what happens here with Hartley. Obviously Sheffield have only bought one goalie, they don't have a backup, so we'll have to listen carefully for the penalty call here, because it seems unlikely that Hartley's not going to get a penalty, seeing as he initiated that little
ruckus,
little
shall we
set
say,
two,
yeah. But we all know Owen Bennett loves an excuse to get the mitts off. Normally don't see an out ice player against the Tendy. It's normally a gentleman's agreement that Tendy goes against Tendy, but in a situation like that.
Well, Owen Bennett created a good opportunity there, and he was driving the net, got something on the puck, and then took out his man and the goalie. Hartley reacted, and Owen Bennett is lightning quick how fast he gets the gloves off, and is just permanently ready to go. So interesting to see how this shapes up. Bell is in the box for Sheffield, and presumably he's sitting a penalty for Hartley.
You'd assume so. As we can see now, the Dragons automatically putting 4 skaters on the ice. They know what's coming.
And it is 4-on-4 by the looks of things. So everything's evened up here, and on the ice we haven't heard a penalty call yet. So
I'd assume it's a 2+2 for both. So you can see the officials here just getting ready to get this game back underway.
Yeah, good. So Dragons have shown a bit of spirit, and they've not suffered for it because we're even strength or 4-on-4 here. And Sheffield have clipped the puck to centre where Proctor is chasing down Lovell. And Lovell will reset the puck to Morgan, and it's 2 minutes for roughing all round. Morgan has backhanded the puck to Lovell, and Lovell circles inside, comes up through the neutral zone, goes onto his backhand, and then starts to get the legs working, driving wide. He goes behind the net, he rides the check from Wild, but Wild eventually then dispossessed Parry, and is up to Humphreys. Humphreys can't step past Morgan, who shuts him down, and Lovell starts it up again. Up to Shaw. Shaw's backhand pass, but there's no one there at the Sheffield blue line. Long pass up to Proctor for Sheffield, brings it over the blue line. Looking to take a shot, but he lost his edge and is pushed back to the ice by Lovell, who then chips it up to Shaw, and we could have an opportunity opening up here as Shaw picks up the pace, but Sheffield got their numbers back, and Morgan went for a hit and the puck went up into the netting.
So with the 4-on-4 situation we find ourselves in for the next 49 seconds, George, you've got to think that at the end of the day this is going to favour the Dragons, especially with the way their special teams unit has been performing this season so far. A lot of open ice and a lot of...
Yeah, create some space. They've got 2 fast skaters out here, Parson and Furnival. And this is Furnival now, coming back to reset the play and playing cross-ice pass to Austin. Dragons just taking the edge off the pace, looking like they want to get something set up, and they have done here with Parsons, who's driving wide on Smith. Smith's lost an edge for Sheffield, and Parsons drives all the way around, finds Austin. Austin shoots, saved by Hartley.
Great play by the Dragons.
Yeah, they took their time about it. Sheffield not looking as composed here. They've just opted to dump the puck, but
5 seconds remain.
5 seconds left on this penalty,
and that expires.
And
both traps open.
Bennett and Bell return to the ice. Austin at centre takes a shot, but that was blocked by Smith, and now Parsons drives behind the net, cuts inside. It's Williams. Oh, it was Furnival, sorry. Furnival got a shot, but he got a weak shot on net that was stopped down low by Hartley.
Great play by Hartley there to deny the Dragons the equaliser. I did notice though, this numbers game again playing a massive advantage. Dragons, the minute Bennett came out the trap, straight over to the bench, get a fresh set of legs on the ice. Bell was forced to play out the remainder of that play then.
And here comes Nixon with speed. He's found Proctor, and Proctor played a dangerous pass across the face of the Dragons net. The puck eventually clears the zone. Dragons with 5 minutes now to get themselves back level in this game. And it's Parry now stepping over the blue line, but that is loose, and Parry must go and recover his own play, which he does. He flips it in low to Wigglesworth, but big hit there by Parry. caught someone with his head down. Lovell coming up through centre has lost it, and we've got an odd man rush here on Morgan, and it's Humphreys and Nixon. Humphreys backhands to Nixon, and Morgan, good strong stick there to prevent the shot.
Sheffield again showing that counter-attack is lethal.
Now Morgan turns back, brings the puck up for Deeside, coming through neutral ice.
That's going to be an offside on the Dragons.
We are offside, yep.
Yeah, Shaw just slightly ahead of his teammate there, was caught puck watching rather than where he was on the line. But with little under 5 minutes remaining now in this third period, George, what have the Dragons got to do to get back in this?
Beat Hartley, the one thing they've really struggled to do all night, because they've had plenty of chances to do it. Hartley's frozen the puck now.
And he's doing a good job of just disrupting the rhythm that the Dragons get every time they're starting to get opportunity on net.
Now Parsons has lost the draw, I think, to Reiter, but the Dragons recover, and Parsons almost found the puck right in the slot, but it just evaded him. And Sheffield bring it back out without any control. And Deeside recover. Now Wainwright to Parsons. Parsons driving wide, behind the net, up to the point where Austin takes, shoots, deflected. Oh, dangerous deflection. But it did not go. And now it's Keating across at the far boards. Keating flips one in. And then Sheffield recover, but they can't gain possession in the Dragons zone. The danger is them getting hit on the break as the Dragons push, especially the defence starting to push up a little. Yeah,
the Dragons defence are pushing up, but you can see Sheffield are parking the bus. 3 men now sitting back behind that puck at all times.
Otley turns for Sheffield, plays D to D with Smith. Smith steps over the Deeside blue line, drives onto his backhand, and now Sheffield have got 2 men caught behind the play, so what can the Dragons do here? Long pass up to Spridgen, who's bodied away from the puck by Otley, and Sheffield come away with it here with Humphreys, but Lovell is quick to intercept that.
See, obviously, getting as many men behind the puck as they are, Sheffield are doing a great job of denying the Dragons. But as and when the Dragons do get inside the centre zone, the crowd in their own paint and causing a murder for Hartley to see that puck.
Just over 2 minutes left now for the Dragons to score, as Bennett brings it up to centre and then dumps one in, where Spridgen will forecheck. Sheffield can't clear the zone. It comes to Morgan. A weak attempt found Williams, and Williams brought the puck through the slot, but it came loose. And now Humphreys throws a long dump in towards the Deeside net, and Lovell must come back. Now Lovell looks like he's ready to make a difference here. As he steps forward meaningfully, finds Parry, Williams, backhand Lovell. Oh, what a great chance that was. Well, Morgan alone here at the back as eventually Williams and Parry come back, and Morgan with a bit of a hip check there, much to the delight of the crowd. Proctor to Smith. And Deeside, Morgan coming across the puck, look to set up what will be one of their final attacks. And here comes Wild for Sheffield. Wild centres to Proctor, who has a gaping net, and that will most certainly, or most likely, do it.
Yeah, that's going to be the nail in the coffin there. And Sheffield have shut this game out and put it to bed with only just over 2 minutes remaining. They were caught on the counter-attack again, the Dragons, but they were throwing everything at Sheffield. They had no choice.
Well, we have 1 minute and 6 seconds left to play, with the Dragons now 2 goals behind. Stranger things have happened. Jonah Armstrong, perhaps wisely, has decided to have his equipment looked at to give the Dragons top line a chance to breathe deeply and prepare themselves for what should be a frantic minute of hockey. And it's Shaw bringing forward. That's blocked by Sheffield. Austin comes back. Goes D to D with Wainwright. Up to Parry. Parry to Shaw. Shaw trying to step inside. And here's Wainwright now. Wainwright, lovely move. Driving wide, down from his defensive position on the backhand. Goes round the net, plays it up. Where it's Austin took a long shot that hit something in front, and I'm not sure what, but it may have hit the side of the net, actually, may have hit the netting. No sign of Armstrong coming yet. I don't know whether Deeside will pull their goalie. It's up to Wigglesworth at the blue line now, and then Wayne had a chance. Parry now steps over the blue line for Deeside. He can't get a decent centering effort, and we're down to about 10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I feel like they're not going to pull Armstrong at all.
No. Austin comes back, takes a long dump in. Stopped by Hartley and Wild, and that will do it.
Well, what a game. The Dragons look to be in the driving seat, controlling the game throughout the entire first and second period. But a small squadded Sheffield side certainly jumped on the opportunities in that third, clawed the game back, and you can see there now, they're just examining the net, seeing whether that puck from Austin actually went through. If it did, it'd make very little difference, I feel.
Well, without a video replay, it seems unlikely they could do anything about it. I mean, in the NHL, they bring it back, don't they, to reset the clock, but I don't think that's going to happen still.
Well,
Austin seems confident that his shot's gone through the net there, so it'd be interesting to see the replay.
It will always be the mystery goal of Austin. Would it have made a difference? I don't think so. I think Sheffield had that bus well and truly parked. They'd done what they needed to do, which was get ahead of the Dragons and then put the game to bed. So with that, we'll hand over for a quick word back to our sponsors while I make the short journey down between the locker rooms to grab some of the players and thoughts analysis post-game.
Dunamis Sportswear. Sponsors have dropped the puck.
I'm here with player coach Lewis Otley of the Sheffield Senators. Lewis, it's a result you wanted, but you left it late there. What was the game plan?
We weren't too sure, to be honest. We didn't know what to expect from Deeside, obviously, coming down from Division 1 last year. We knew it'd be a tough game. Weren't too sure what to expect. So we know that we played a good couple of teams so far and the results haven't gone their way, but we just stuck to his game plan, just chip it down, work hard. We came with a short bench tonight, so praise the boys more.
Do you feel that short bench played into effect at all?
Definitely. The first period we were all over the shop, especially with the bus legs. Obviously it took us a period to get into the game, but after that we started to make proper passes, stuff like that, not rush things, started getting into the swing of it, and then unfortunately we got the win, so it was good.
So the last time you guys iced was against the Bulldogs. You came out 7-3 victors there. It was going into tonight, into that third period, you were still down. What did you feel the difference between the two was?
Just obviously the short bench definitely made a huge factor. It's hard to say really. We weren't too sure what to expect, but the boys dug deep. Hearts, who was on his head all night for us. So yeah, like I said, just dug deep, stuck to the game plan, and ended up coming out with a W. So that's the whole point of it.
Now looking ahead, going into the fixture again, you guys were on the same points as Deeside, yet you had 4 games in hand. Do you think that's going to come into advantage later on? And then what are you hoping to get out of this?
To be honest, we're just taking game by game. We're trying not to think about the future too much. Obviously, it'd be nice to win the league and win the playoffs and stuff like that, but we're just trying to develop as a team. We are quite a young team compared to other teams. So yeah, we're just trying to concentrate on our own game. We're not too fussed about what other people are doing at the moment.
So there's certainly not another team in the league you've kind of got your eye on at the moment.
Well, obviously there's the big rivalry between us and Widnes, really. Just obviously with all the Sheffield players that have moved there. So yeah, like I said, we're just trying to take it step by step and just see where it goes.
Well, Lewis, congratulations on the victory tonight, and we wish you luck for the rest of the season. Hopefully we'll catch you again soon.
Thank you, you too.
And with Dragons coach Gary Shaw. Gary, you let the game kind of get away from you there. Obviously not the result you wanted. What do you think was the turning point?
I think tonight, again, we played for 40 minutes, which we had a really good 40 minutes, and then we seemed to come out a little bit flat. We did pick it up, and then we sort of lost it in the middle when we lost our positioning, which is the high guy in the zone. So they ended up on 3-on-1s and 2-on-1s, and that's where the game was lost, really. Our discipline, or the high guy, was sucked into the zone. So that's where we lost the game.
Would it be fair to say that a little bit of complacency crept in as well towards, at the start of that third period, thinking maybe you'd already had the game in the bag?
Yeah, that could be it. They had a hard game yesterday, but today we played really well. And then, as you say, complacency during the game. Thought we'd already won it, which we hadn't. And as I say, 20 minutes, last 20 minutes, we played about 7 or 8, which was poor.
Now, you mentioned, obviously, the previous result from last night. So it's a tough weekend. First away to Bradford, an 8-0 deficit, you came away there. And then, again, another loss tonight. What's going to be needed to be done now to get the Dragons' heads turned back around, facing the right way, and sort of re-energised, ready to go again?
I think the lads need just to focus on their own games and start playing as a unit on the ice for 60 minutes, not just 40 or 30 minutes. If we can play at 60 minutes and play with the intensity we did tonight in the first 2 periods, we don't have a problem. As we did it against Telford, we played for 60 minutes, we didn't have a problem. So the lads themselves have got to look at themselves on what they're doing on the ice and be focused on playing as a unit on the ice. That's all 5 players playing as a unit, not just 4 and 1 off the page. If 1 off the page, that's where we're losing it.
So now the Dragons on the road for 2 weeks. The road has not exactly been fair to the Dragons. It's where most of the losses come from. How's that going to be sort of managed?
I think we've just got we've got to take shift by shift, come off, win like we did last year, come off either even or winning the shift. If we do that, I think that the lads will play properly and work as the unit, and that'll look good for us going forward.
So a tough schedule ahead for the Dragons, but still not out of the running yet. Wish you best of luck, Gary, for the rest of the season, and we'll hopefully catch you again soon.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Well, Ben, not the results I was expecting there, because I've got to admit, I thought the Dragons had that in the bag.
So did me and George. You heard us on the commentary. And that interview there with Gary Shaw then, was it complacency? Was it tiredness? Whatever it was, the Dragons took the foot off the gas and Sheffield pounced on the opportunity.
Well, you got to wonder, because I mean, it was pretty even, like I thought it was. I predicted it at the start of the game. I thought it was going to be tight, and it was at the end of that first period. No score at all. But then that second period, you could see the Dragons starting to come out and start to perform. 2 goals, and you thought, coming close towards the end of the second period, they've got control of this game.
Yeah, very much so. Keating's goal was a great team goal. Really worked well, that line. And then obviously the Shaw goal. What stick skill from James Shaw to get that goal. But the turning point for me was then. The minute they were 2-0 up, they thought the game was in the bag, they could skate out the rest of the game, and then that soft goal from Nixon. And it brought Senators straight back in. It was only that goal going into the third period, and I think that gave them the boost to go out and finish the game.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a shock going so late in that second period, getting the goal that they did, and it certainly boded Sheffield very well, because going into that period break, we don't know what was said by Gary Shaw or by Coach Otley, but certainly Sheffield came out a different team.
Yeah, certainly. So you'd have thought that going into the third, the Senators would, I don't know, maybe push to get the equaliser and then try and take it to overtime. But no, they clawed it back quite quickly. That goal from, I'm just checking my other sheet, Britain, that's right, Britain with the goal there, brought it back, and next minute, park the bus. And although the Dragons were having difficult trying to beat Hartley all night anyway, trying to beat 3 guys in Hartley just made it even harder for them, and it allowed the Sheffield to get into that chink in the armour, as I said in the commentary, of the Dragons, and that was obviously the counter-attack. A lot of odd man rush, caught with the high man, and they just ran the game out.
Well, we said it's second best defence coming into this game, and you could see that because in that third period, when the Dragons started to step it up a little bit and started to pound that net, I mean, I don't know what the shot ratio was, but I'm sure the Dragons had a high ratio. You could see that there was the netminder, the Sheffield netminder, plus there was 2 defensive guys either side of him. Every time the Dragons were firing a shot in, it was hitting one of them, and then the rebound, and it was a counter-attack playing hockey then, and you could see the Dragons were then caught out playing high.
Yeah, very much so. And it with any sport, if you commit that many men forward and you're putting on the pressure to try and seal it out, it will only take that long puck, that over-the-top ball, whatever, to get behind your defence, and that's it then. It's always going to be you're on the back foot. I think, though, 3 unanswered goals in that third period. Coach Gary Shaw's going to have a lot of questions to ask in the locker room tonight. Why 3 unanswered goals? 2 ones, it was a cheeky goal at the end of the second, but 3 unanswered, they know they're better than that, I think. So that's something they're going to be working on in training.
Well, you say unanswered, Ben, because it's a bit of a contention at the moment, because there is that phantom goal of Austin's. I mean, at the time, it seemed on the ice, it seemed to happen so fast, he smacked that puck straight in. You saw the back of the net move, and a lot of people thought it had gone in, but then the puck was suddenly at the back of the goal, flying round. Turns out that it's gone through a hole in the net, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, as the video replay showed, it's a phenomenon that will always be. It's a phantom goal. If you ask the Dragons, yeah, it would have made a difference. Another 1 goal to bring it back. A minute or so left. It can be done at that point. You've got the adrenaline pumping, the legs are going. You think you can do this. You're confident enough to pull the netminder. On the other side of the puck, though, yeah, okay, so the goal didn't go in, so it's a bit deflating, and that's what the Sheffield jumped all over. The fact that the Dragons didn't get the goal, they'd accepted it hadn't gone in, and then they just need to see the game out.
Well, a lot of lessons learned for the Dragons in this one. Sheffield will be quite happy going in with another win and looking forward to being top end of that table. But hopefully the Dragons can get something and come back and be a better team. We'll have more action here on Drop the Puck for more games coming from the Laidler Conference. I've been Gary Lee, he's been Ben Lee, and this has been
Drop the Puck.
Dunarmus Sportswear, sponsors of Drop the Puck.